Hello! Today I'm doing something a little different from just playing music. I'm gonna try to do a little lesson on a piece that an online friend of mine has asked for some feedback on. Um, this piece is new to me, but I just spent some time with it, and I think I have some ideas to share for how to play it nicely. The piece is Ein Gut Preambl by Newsidler. Um, and I will include a link in the description to my version of the tablature that has all of my markings added. I've added fingerings, and I've added indications of when you should hold a note, and I've added a couple other markings as well. So, yeah, let's go for it. So I'll do a playthrough of the piece first to start. Like I said, I'm very, very new to this piece, but hopefully you can kind of get an idea of what I'm trying to get with it. So yeah, it's a really, really, really pretty piece. So I think it's deceptively complicated. What makes it hard is that there's a lot of polyphony going on, a lot of different voices, and they're not moving all at once. And so lots of places where you need to pick less than ideal fingerings to keep all the voices moving. So to start with, there's a decision at the beginning of which voice do you think is picking up the melody at the beginning. So you start with three voices playing this initial chord, and then one of the voices picks up the melody, and it's either the top voice, like that, or it's the middle voice. And I kind of like playing as though the middle voice is picking up the melody while the top voice is singing this long note. It's an open string, so it's kind of hard to stop it from ringing, so kind of lean into it and make that a nice kind of upper harmony. And so for the fifth note of the measure and into the sixth, you have the one melody that is crossing strings, and there's two different kind of pitfalls you can get into for this. The first one is letting both notes ring out at the same time too much. So if you play it like this, it sounds like it's two voices. It sounds like this is one voice that's kind of holding down a long note, and that's another one. But really, this is one voice playing like that. So some people overcompensate and lift up this finger and get this kind of staccato effect. So what we want to make sure you do is, as you want to lift up the finger on this note to let it stop ringing, but kind of bleed it into the next note a little bit. Let it be a little bit legato, like that. That way you get this nice legato line. Okay, so that's the first measure. Another thing actually is for the first three measures, you have kind of a running melody that an important thing when playing melodies like that is that you have a nice legato sound, and you also kind of distinguish the sound of the upbeats versus the downbeats. So you don't want every note to sound the same, like this. Let me see if I can do it. Like that. Instead, you want the downbeats to be a little bit stronger and the upbeats to be a little bit weaker. So when you're going down with your thumb, a little stronger, up with your index, a little weaker. The way to accomplish this is using arm motion, not just finger motion. So when you're going a downbeat, you want to let gravity kind of pull your whole arm down as you're playing that thumb note. Like that. So moving on, next measure, you have two voices that you need to hold on to while you're playing this upper melody. So that's why you have this kind of awkward fingering with the third and fourth fingers. Same thing here. Yeah. Another thing to point out is I'll make the rhythm a little bit unequal. You don't want every, let me see if I can do it. Like that. There's this concept of agogics, which is when you have kind of a run like that, you stretch out the first note of a little bit and then catch up with the later notes. So instead of you want it da 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 da. So da 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 da. So that's might be a little bit exaggerated, but try to kind of elongate the first note and then catch up with the later notes, and you can do that with the first three measures as well. Like that. The next thing, moving on to the next section, we have all of these chords now, and the challenge here is that not all the voices are moving at the same time, so we need to make sure to hold down the notes for the voices that are holding a long note while the other ones move. So here's our first example. This E flat in the top is a long note, and while we're playing it, the middle voice moves. This makes a nice cadence. So if you think about da, da, that's how the top voice is cadencing. The middle voice is cadencing this way. Da, da, da. And the bottom voice da, da. So when you play this, make sure that you hold the top voice as you're letting go of the middle voice. The way I do that, I do this little mini bar chord. And I kind of drag it off of it. There's probably a better way to. You could just do 1 and 2 here. Actually, I'm going to change it to that. So, yeah, I'll update the file that had to have that. So. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so with a cadence like this, you have the dissonance, the suspension at this point. And whenever you have a kind of this suspension, you want to emphasize that point. You want to give it a nice arpeggio, a little bit louder. The resolution could be nice and quiet and still. Then going on, we're at measure 5. There's a new voice coming in, so it's kind of nice to have a little breath. So these measures 8 through 10 have the trickiest fingering. There might be better fingering, but the best I could come up with, which keeps the voices going, is pretty complicated. So take a look at the fingering in the attached file. So again, we've got this running figure, this melodic figure, where we can do that agogics thing again. Da, 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 instead of just doing it da, 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 da. And we also have a nice cadence with the penultimate note. We can get a little more stressed. And then the final note, nice, still, quiet, like that. So I'll play through the whole thing one more time and see if you can pick out the concepts I've been talking about. All right, good luck. Enjoy the piece. I think I'll keep playing it as well. It's a very nice piece.